Down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Whoa, we shine the light. Yeah, they're loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane, speeding like a space brain. One more time tonight. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring you to your knees. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? I wanna go. I wanna know. Oh, won't you please take me home?
There we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on the Jeff Meacham Network and NoDQ.com and the Costume Studios and the Greg Cherry brand. Yes, fancy hat today. If you missed the show yesterday, I got some new stuff to wear, so I'm a happy boy. Anyway, let me get in 1 second. Let me get the Kings game queued up because I do want to have that on in the background just in case I need to watch. There we go. So, right off the top, JJ has go ahead and throw me under the bus, so I'm going to go ahead and take myself there. If we get $25 in Super Chats today, just today, I will indeed karaoke Real American. There you go. Anyway, good grief. Yes, you saw the chats earlier, Mansfield. Josh said, what's up? Josh says, is it too early to ask for a 10-bell salute from US Title Reign? Yes. Just because and there goes the light. You know what? Do I need a slight? Let me hang on. Brightness. Scary. Hang on. All right. Yeah, not necessarily tonight. Okay. Hell with it. Anyway, let me get the soda open. There we go. Okay. Very good. I'm happy that Theory is the champion, Josh, honestly, so I'm not overly mournful about Finn Balor's title reign. It's one of those things with Finn that, we got what we got, and I said it last night. We said it last night on Ask the Dads. Had he not taken the buckle bomb and been taken out, whole different story with his career on the main roster. So hopefully he can rebound. Like I said, maybe he's the next to join Edge's army or whatever the hell they're the Dark Brood or whatever the hell they're calling that the group. And again, $25 in Super Chats tonight, guys. There will be karaoke of Real American. JJ's already thrown me under the bus. I'm going to go ahead and let it hit me and run me through. Josh, thankfully I left for Raw last night before you started. Oh, see? I enjoyed that thoroughly, as did Little Vince. So there you go. Real American will happen. Anyway, let's see. Mansfield habits have been ignored by Casa. Hey, you know what? JJ doesn't ignore people on purpose. JJ gets ignored on Greg's streams a lot, so let's not throw people under the bus too much. Let's see. Mansfield, we're used to print. Okay, lots of stuff here. Okay, very good. So I do want to talk about a couple things before we get too far into your questions. And again, I do have the freaking banner. I forgot to put up. There it is. There we go. Very good. Okay. So I had a itinerary, a to-do list, if you will. So I will go ahead and that is not what I wanted to do, but we'll go ahead and that's not what I wanted either. Thanks. That's very loud. That's very loud. That is. Let's try Twitter. The tweeter, as JJ would say. Trying to find. I had it typed out where I would. There it is. Okay. So first on the itinerary, if you will, before we get to your questions, comments, and the like tonight, because I do want to make sure I get to those. Let's see. Is 3 hours of Raw actually becoming tolerable? And I asked this because I watched all 3 hours of Raw last night in real time between out here on the West Coast anyway, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and I didn't mind sitting through the show. I actually enjoyed myself. I really did. It was an enjoyable 3 hours. Yes, the wedding stuff kind of was what it was. It's sports entertainment. It's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a wee bit of a train wreck. But I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed NXT tonight. They signed off just as we were getting ready to come on the air here. I've got the Kings Ducks on now, and they are down there at the Honda Center. Ooh, we got Gibson in goal. Cool. For the Ducks. So I'm going to see who's playing for the Kings as far as in goal. But anyway, I enjoyed Raw. I enjoyed NXT. I've enjoyed the presentations the last few weeks leading up to and since WrestleMania. The Raw after Mania wasn't the normal Raw after Mania where it was all, bells and whistles and all hands on deck, but I enjoyed it very, very much personally. And maybe that's just I mentioned on Twitter, maybe I'm becoming less cynical or more tolerant, and Josh said maybe a little bit of both. And I guess that's the case, but I'm tolerant in wrestling. I guess I'm tolerant because I can't wait for the Kings to beat these assholes, the Ducks, up. I hate fucking Ducks so much. Anyway, so on the heels of that question, I did ask everybody out there, is there too much televised wrestling? And I said that because figure right now we've got 3 hours of Raw on Mondays plus an hour or more of AEW Dark Elevation. Plus, if you live out here like I do and don't get Ring of Honor directly, you can watch the hour of Ring of Honor TV on Fight also at the same time as AEW Dark Elevation. So there's 3 shows right there. Tonight you've got NXT, which follows NWA Power and AEW Dark. 3 shows right there. Tomorrow you've got AEW Dynamite, and I think that's it as far as the main companies. Thursday is Impact Wrestling. Friday is SmackDown plus New Japan Strong, and then Saturday and Sundays are the weekend pay-per-views or whatever the case may be. So is there too much wrestling? I don't think so, but I'm a wrestling fan. I enjoy having the alternatives to turn to every single night of the week. So what do you guys think in the comments? We'll go ahead and let that be leave that be open, and I'll go ahead and check on everybody else's comments for the moment. CJ, who is a Atlanta Braves fan and Atlanta resident, so let me just clarify that before I read his question. What are my thoughts on my opinion on Bill Plaschke? God, I hate his name so much. I hate him. He needs to leave the Braves and the Tomahawk Chop alone. I've never been a fan of the Tomahawk Chop. Let me be clear on that, CJ. I was tolerant of it when I was in Atlanta. Okay. I hate that with all my being. It's really obnoxious. I hated it when the Seminoles do it. I despise it when the Braves do it. More so when I was younger than I do now. Again, I'm much more tolerant in my old age, I guess. But I've never been a fan of the you know what? I am the world's worst sports fan. Okay. I don't like the Tomahawk Chop. I don't like the wave. I don't like any of that shit. I go to a game. JJ will attest to this, usually for hockey, and I assume the position for 3 hours of hockey or however long a baseball game takes. This is my dad and I. Let me make sure you get the full effect here. The ice is over here for 10 minutes. This is what we do. We sit here and we stand up and we cheer when we score a goal. We yell at the referees because that's what you're supposed to do in sports. You yell at the officials. And that's pretty much what I do. I'm an old fuddy-duddy, and I have been my whole life, really. It's kind of sad. But, yeah, not a fan of the Tomahawk Chop whatsoever. But as far as somebody in the media, I assume that's who Bill Plaschke is. That's stupid to pick on him in the media. That's just dumb and ignorant, quite frankly. Let's see. Thoughts on Kushida leaving WWE? I'm not surprised. With the complete lack of attention really being paid to the Cruiserweight division after the dissolution of 205 Live and the unification with the North American Championship, what is there for Kushida to really do? He's he's a good little hand, as they would say, right? But he's not a good long-term investment with the gimmick he has and the style he works. So it sucks, and I really hope that he falls somewhere. And yes, I did mention on social media, I did mention in the chats before the show, but Big G, happy birthday, brother. Again, I thank you so much for being a supporter from the beginning of me doing this crazy endeavor, the Jeff Meacham Network, being a No DQ contributor, being a No DQ fan. I thank you in particular for the HBO Max access because I really enjoy having that. I know the Batman movie is now on HBO Max, which Dylan and I will probably watch for the 3rd time together now that it's actually on the Max. So I appreciate you, G. I appreciate your wife. You guys are awesome people. I can't wait for you to come out here for WrestleMania, if not sooner. For the record, I wouldn't mind seeing you here sooner. Yes, if there's a show, if there's a question during Ask the Dads or any show that I'm running the board, then it's my bad. So I apologize if you've been ignored, Ken. That is not my fault. I do apologize. And it's funny, Jay. I called Honda Center, Staples Center. Hi, I mean. It's only Coke Zero tonight, guys. There's no alcohol tonight like there was yesterday on Dad's. I actually called Honda Center, Staples Center South in the car on the way home today, and I got chastised. Don't associate the Staples Center with that. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I agree with that. Let's see. Justice, for those of you not in the WWE fan council, here's some insider info. WWE is planning things. Nothing's set in stone yet. For the following WWE anniversaries this year, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, and Kane. Yeah, because you figure Kane's at 25. Batista and Cena are both at 20, as is Rey Mysterio, as am I in podcasting on wrestling. So I was talking to, who was I talking to earlier? Jenna, my buddy Genocide, when I was with her Sunday doing the shopping and the drinking. 2002 is a major year for anniversaries and milestones for a lot of people that I hold near and dear, including myself and the No DQ media side of things. So it's going to be a fun year. We got everything coming up. So good on you pointing that out, Josh. Let's see what we got, y'all. Well, okay, so Joey, if you're trying to watch the Dodgers, is it not on Spectrum, the Spectrum station? Anyway, let's see. I don't know what that means, so we're going to time you out for not understanding what that means and trying to be a pain in the ass. Anyway, Big G with a super chat on his birthday for me. I appreciate that, Big G. Quick update from Big G. They are bringing Buff back. Yes, I mentioned this. I didn't mention this yesterday because I didn't get a chance to. Buff Bagwell is going to be part of the Celeb Fest 4 that Big G is helping coordinate, I guess. Is that what you're doing, Big G? Again, you have to elaborate a little bit further for the audience. I know you're going to be in the No DQ review this week, so you definitely elaborate on that more on Thursday night. But for my audience, for the No DQ audience, for the Greg audience, for the Cots audience, let us know. But anyway, our buddy Buff Bagwell is going to be part of Celeb Fest 4, so thank you for letting us know that. Buff's the man. We love Buff Bagwell across all of our affiliates. Yes. Especially when it comes to sports, especially when it comes to hockey. Very much so, Ken. JJ says, I definitely feel overwhelmed with all the content these days with trying to get back into the game as far as watching the current product. It is. It really is, Jay. Like I said, you're trying to get into even just the mainstream stuff. You're talking at 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 hours of weekly television plus pay-per-views on the semi-regular. It's a lot to take in when you're trying to get back into it, and diving in, head first pretty much. Let's see. JJ says 5 down 10, 20 to go for Real American. And trust me, I can Real American karaoke way better than Stand Back because I know the words to Real American without having to look. So there you go. Our buddy Zach at New Orleans says, happy Tuesday. Thoughts on AEW, New Japan Super Show? What matches do you want to see? That's a whole other, a whole show's worth of topics to dive into. But there's quite a few on that list, Zach. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely going to be a great thing if it happens, because I know that there's a lot of chatter. So let's see. And again, you know what, CJ, that's cool too. I'm watching hockey right now as I'm talking about wrestling, so that's it's kind of a thing there. Again, Bagwell and Butterbean, that was a thing I'm sure back then, and Russo and Cornette. I don't think Mark and Butterbean hate each other near as much as Russo and Cornette do, though. Psycho says, what would I rename Chad Gable once Gable Stevenson hits the main roster? I'm partial to Chad Alpha. If they have to rename Chad Gable, which I can see being a thing, Chad Alpha sounds pretty good because you figure, you had the Alpha Academy, you had American Alpha for him and Jason Jordan. Alpha sounds good. Chad Alpha is not a bad way to go if they have to. I still think it's stupid, but anyway, the Batman I think is very good. It's long, Ken. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good, solid, damn near 3 hours. There are TV breaks. Wow. Potty breaks that are a thing. If you've not seen it and you do want to see it in theaters, I don't know if it's actually still in theaters anywhere in the world, but if you do want to have the big theater experience and want to go somewhere, and don't want to have to work, and you don't have the ability to pause at 45 minutes in and an hour and 20 in, that's when you go to the restroom. Otherwise, you're screwed and you're gonna miss stuff. So JJ Zach wants to do a top 10 TV dramas with you and I. So I'm okay with that. Jeez, that's terrible. JJ, be a better question. Answer that question. I appreciate that about being a mark for Talk Wrestling. Like I said, we're celebrating 15 years in just a little under 3 months. It's bonkers. Dwayne's here. What up, Dwayne? Again, the guy that got us over the $100 hump. We appreciate it, brother. We're actually getting close to another 100, so it's been a productive couple of weeks. I'm very, very happy. Oh, Dish Network is bad. Again, I'm trying to catch up as I go. I'm running the board by myself tonight, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to go as I go here. So there you go. Law and Order is actually a cool show. I actually wouldn't mind doing Law and Order as a thing. No word on Bailey for me, CJ, as far as I know. As far as Money in the Bank pick, Psycho, again, it's very early. I will probably wait until after Hell in a Cell to really start getting into that. Although the prices for tickets in Vegas aren't bad. I might actually go to Money in the Bank this year, for the record. And yeah, I don't blame anybody for giving up on 2.0 and UK. I still don't watch UK now to this day. I tried early on. It's just Thursday afternoons. Yeah, remember, most days I'm at our old house getting ready to come over here by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Pacific time to get ready for you guys. So the time that NXT UK airs on Thursdays, I'm either getting ready to get out the door, I'm already out the damn door. Oofa. It's tough. Cody has Money in the Bank would not surprise me one bit. All right. Now we're just getting silly. Time out, you. Cody Rhea is a great pick for Money in the Bank. Absolutely. Cody Liv also. Let's see. It never happened. I'd like to see you wear ICP makeup and sing the Oddities theme. If I can get like a mask, I would say I would do the Oddities theme. I'm not going to do the paint. Paint's a little much, but I'll do a mask. Okay, so we talked about this. There's a review on my channel and JJ's channel of the Batman. We did a live review once I actually saw the movie. It's up in the archives a little bit if you scroll up on my channel or the Cussington Studios. I enjoyed this version of the Batman, the new one, a little bit better than Nolan's trilogy. And there's a reason for that. So please feel free to check out JJ's account. Give him some love. You want to give me more love, I'm never saying no to that, Ken. But I enjoyed how this one was presented and what the future may hold based on what we saw in this movie compared to the Nolan trilogy. And again, we explain that in detail on the review. So definitely. Matt, I'm doing wonderful. Matt, again, you are one of our biggest proponents of support and throwing those likes up. We appreciate it very, very much. I'm doing great. Like I said, I got a brand new piece of wardrobe thanks to my buddy Genocide accompanying me in Long Beach. It was awesome. This is about wrestling. It's just also about other things because people are allowed to ask me whatever they want on this show. We were talking about wrestling, Dave, but I guess you're new to the group here, or as far as my shows on Tuesday nights. But we talk about a lot of things. This is called Talk Wrestling. Yes, very true. But we also kind of go off into the weeds. So if that's not your cup of tea, cool on you. And there's another $2 from Dwayne. So there we go. Is Joe Gacy becoming the next Bray Wyatt? I think Joe Gacy's more like heading toward the Way and Mercy department or the John Wayne Gacy department. Woof. But there you go. So we're at 7 for the record, guys. We've got there you go, Jay. Ask Jeff anything. There you go. But as of now, we're at $7. So we get another 18. There will be karaoke of a Real American, brother. Let's see. So I got asked, where did it go? I saw it. There it is. Psycho says, have I ever seen King of the Hill? What are my thoughts? I actually liked King of the Hill. I was surprised I liked King of the Hill. I was a mild Beavis and Butthead fan back in the day, but I enjoyed King of the Hill much better than Beavis and Butthead. And it's the same guys, my judge. So I was a fan. I admit it out loud. I enjoyed it. I wish they'd bring it back. Thoughts on Father Stu? No idea what that is other than Stu Hart. And I like Stu Hart a lot. Daniel said, I dared one of my friends on the phone that if he hates wrestling so much, he should rant in the form of riddles as the Riddler in the Batman movie. Any form of the Riddler on a wrestling rant, I think JJ and I would be all about. And again, $7 down, 18 to go, and Real American Karaoke, brother. Joey said, I remember WCW highlight show on after Fox Kids on Saturdays in the late 90s. I'm trying to remember early gateway of wrestling besides 1 or 2 episodes of SmackDown. Well, again, when I was growing up, I don't know about JJ didn't discover it till into the Attitude Era. I know that for sure. I know Aaron and I were watching back in the 80s, early 90s for me, 1990 exactly for me. But Superstars of Wrestling, that kind of stuff. I don't remember WCW show being on after Fox Kids, but maybe it's too much of an obscure to an obscure reference for me. I don't know. If I take Vince McMahon's job or run the Kings, what was I picking? Why? The Kings. Easily. And to be honest with you, CJ, I wouldn't choose to run either, for the record. I do not like the idea of running something I'm such a fan of. But extra score. Okay, quick way to save. Good. Damn it. Anyway, I don't fancy the idea of running the Kings or running the WWE or running a sports team myself. I was perfectly happy being creative guy when it came to booking the women's federation I helped book for. I'm very much a creative person, not a money person. I think anybody that's in this room that knows me, like outside of this room, will back me up on that. I'm great with the ideas. I'm great with executing the ideas even. But when it comes to paying off the ideas, no. Horrible at that. So no. But I appreciate the thought there, CJ. Am I surprised WWE hasn't turned Matt Riddle into the Riddler? No. I feel it would have been if it was in the 80s, probably, but I'm waiting for this unification match to go down at WrestleMania Backlash, and then Riddle turns on Orton because Orton dared to use the F word around anybody for the first time. So that is going to be a thing. Just you watch. So apparently Father Stu is a movie. Stu Long, a late priest of the Diocese of Helena, Montana, a movie made by Mark Wahlberg, just came out about him, and it came out last Wednesday. Okay, I haven't seen it, so there you go. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, I got that revival, Ken, but it was very brief, and I mean very brief. I would have liked to have seen that go long term. I like Beavis and Butthead when it was around originally because it still kept MTV as music television. Because yeah, you had the goofy storylines of the episode, but they also watched music videos, including Real American. So there you go. It occurred to me that JJ said I would karaoke Real American. I'll have to do the 8-bit version because if I play Real American by Derringer on here, I'll get everybody copyright painted and Aaron will be up my ass for it. So if JJ, if you're listening, if you're still paying attention, and if you can send a link of the 8-bit version of Real American to my personal Facebook, sound is a pound. Appreciate that. Psycho's favorite characters on King of the Hill are Dale for his insane conspiracy theories and Boomhauer because he can barely understand. Yes. Boomhauer, actually both those guys, I have people in my circle that I can relate, I can correlate with the folks from King of the Hill. Anyway, Josh says, if you're Catholic like me, you probably really like it. It's not, if not religious, might be hard to follow from the secular reviews I've seen. Okay. Lots of different, well, that's just your typical religious movie these days. There's all kinds of profanity. I am, okay, without getting too far into religion, because Lord, that's one of the most polarizing topics in the history of the universe and very subjective if you know who you talk to. I was christened as a Catholic, but didn't really stay on the whole full-time practicing of it in my daily life. So, and that's not a knock on it. It just wasn't our thing and growing up. And I'm not a really fan of those type of movies anyway, so I probably wouldn't enjoy it, but thank you for the update, Josh. Ken, if you can make it back, cool. If not, I appreciate you and we'll see you next week. If not sooner on one of the other streams coming up this week, which you guys saw in the trailer for, the rest of this month. I mean, it's gonna be May soon. Like I know it's gonna be May. Haha, with the funny. A lot of cool stuff coming up in May though, on the Jeff Meacham Network and our affiliates. So stay tuned on that. And again, I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. May 1st right away. It's not going to be on any of the YouTubes. It's going to be on a certain Twitter account that I'm going to let everybody know about on Friday's open mic night. But I'm going to run a Halloween marathon. And I mean, when I say Halloween, I mean fucking stink. It's a halfway to Halloween marathon. It's on May 1st. It's exactly halfway to Halloween. And we're going to be showing those movies on the Twitter. The Twitter, or the Twitter machine, if you talk to Bully Ray. And that's all day Sunday, May 1st. I mean, from midnight up until up until about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you, Jay. Got the link. I'm ready. Let me just go ahead and queue it up. Whoop, hold up. Hold it. All right, gotta turn it way up. All right, folks. So it's queued up. It's queued up. It's $18 away from me making a complete ass of myself. So there you go. All right. Anyway. So that's on the first, and then we get back to wrestling, of course, on the second. We've got Ask the Dads. We've got actually May 2nd is The Rock's birthday, if you famously remember It's Your Life, This Is Your Life segment. So we're getting heavy into The Rock, and we're going to talk about The Rock on Dads, which also Dads moves to Mondays beginning in May. The full Dads brand, both Ask the Dads and then the Dads, I was wrestling proper TV show. That we're going to talk about The Rock on Dad's. One show's going to be about his movies. The other is going to be about the matches during his career. So lots of Rock focus. And AJ will be AJ. Wow, I saw AJ in the chat room. JJ will be talking more about that coming up on Open Mic Night on Friday. Psycho, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. He says, here's $5 because you're a great guy. I appreciate that as well. What is WWE's backup plan if The Rock is unavailable? That is a really solid question, and I wish I had a better answer for the donation. I don't know. I would like to think that they have a plan. I don't think they do, to be honest with you. I think that they're putting all their Easter eggs in one basket with Dwayne coming back. So I don't know what they're going to do if the most electrifying man in all of entertainment can't be in Hollywood next year. It's going to be interesting how it plays out if it does. Josh says, I'm honestly looking forward to Backlash, to be honest, because we're honest, a little bit too much redundancy on the honest there. That's okay, because we're getting Rollins and Cody and Edge and AJ on the same card on the same day this time. Also, Bianca and Sony looks interesting, plus potentially Roman and Shinsuke Nakamura, and now RK Bro versus Usos. Yeah, it's shaping up to be really well done. And again, the fact that you guys have put in the $100 plus now, we're going to be calling it on the Jeff Meacham Network coming up on May 8th with predictions on, I believe we're doing it the 7th. Not sure about that yet, but we'll see. Also, there was I don't know if we talk about the schedule. Okay, gotta stop everything. Hang on one second. I gotta stop. Good night, sweetheart. I love you too. I hope everything is well, and I hope everything is. I hope you go sleep for Mom, okay? Please, don't give Mama grief tonight. Mama's got enough grief. Let's see what we got here. Again, JJ said $12 down, 13 to go. We're almost halfway there. So there you go. Because Fear 12 isn't quite half. 25, 12.50 would be. Zach, so let me reword this. Would WWE benefit from bringing back shows like Heat, Velocity, Experience, and Bottom Line? No, I don't think so. I only say no because we talked about at the very start of the show. There's just so much. Did they just score? Or are you another save? Hang on. Priorities. Okay, dude, both goalies are coming up big on saves here, especially Quick, though, because Quick's awesome. Anyway, there's far too much as there is, and there's really no reason to have the B shows when you've got so many A shows as it is. And shows like that just aren't really, I don't want to say appropriate because that has a negative connotation. They're not really relevant or useful in today's WWE. Psycho says, what's going on with Alexa? You would think WWE would use her to feud with Bianca or Charlotte. I would love to see Alexa brought back. If you read those reports, you believe those reports out there on social media and then the dirt sheets or whatever you want to call them, they got nothing for her, which I think is so stupid. It really is. It's an awful, awful take by WWE to have nothing for her to do. It's just bad. It's bad. It really is. Anyway, how do you not have something creative for such a talented and quite honestly beautiful young lady to do? it boggles the mind that they don't have anything for her. And even if they revert her back to the goddess, the basic, if you will, Alexa Bliss, just stupid. Just horrible take. Josh says, I think I pay as much attention to hockey like Noah and Aaron pay attention to sports. That's probably accurate. And again, hockey's always been my thing. I do watch baseball. I do watch football. I do watch that's really about it. Actually, I was going to say other sports, but I really don't watch those on the like have to regular. But hockey has been a part of my life since I was in the womb. So it's just kind of one of those things. So Joey, WCW Worldwide was actually one of the original WCW shows. I can do a brief little one of the original WCW shows. That's a lot of echo. Whoopsies. Sorry about that, guys. There you go with JJ with the NHL. Definitely agree with that, JJ. I like the NFL, but the NHL is the best. Hockey's the best sport in the world. The best sport in the world. Said it. I'll die on the hill. Let me just check something real quick here. WCW Worldwide. WCW Worldwide. All right. So WCW Worldwide actually was the show that started back in 1975. It was one of the original NWA Crockett shows. It was Wide World Wrestling, and then it became Worldwide, and then it became WCW Worldwide in 1992. So, and it was actually the very last WCW broadcast ever, even after Nitro. And that footage is on YouTube. I will have to put you guys on a link on that. Anyway, let's see. And this that's it. The good old hockey game is the best game you can name, and the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. That's right, Jay. Preach it, brother. Again, we're talking about NFL draft stuff, Josh. I am so out of the loop. That is more of a Greg Cherry show talk, and definitely Snapboy Sports Bar when he comes back. But that's out of my wheelhouse, unfortunately. I'm karaoke great when it comes to wrestling songs, but not so much preseason or off-season football. Not my bag, baby. Is there anything I didn't run during the trailers before I forget? Because I do forget shit all the time. Oh, for those of you that missed last week's presentations, I did. I kind of made it funny, and I got a decent audience here, so I want to talk about it. I made a promise to our buddy James Heberts, who is on our commentary team. I know who you're talking about, Josh. There's not enough knowledge for me to really expand on it. Again, if you were sitting here, go for it. But this is the solo show, so it's this thing's not saying put because it's pissing me off. Anyway, so let's see. So I made a promise to James Hebert that I would deliver something that all of us longtime fans always wanted, and I did deliver. It was Vince McMahon's head on the platter. So those of you who missed it, there it is. It's literally Vince's head on the platter, folks. So there you go. If you know, you know. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. All right, what we got here? Psycho says, let's see. The NFL draft is going to ground me for 4 days next Thursday to Sunday because I refuse to drive the 50. Yes, Lord. Going out to, JJ, here's my thing with that, though, Jay. You talk about driving out that way or driving back. If you took the kind of money they feed into your Lyft feed, plus if they tip you in cash, I mean, shit, I'd go. I'd ride shotgun with you and I'd karaoke in the car for the people on the way up to Vegas. Why not? I would do it, but that's just me. JJ also says, just imagine just $13 more and we'll get another Jeff Meacham karaoke. Yeah. If you guys missed last night, I had literally one Stone Cold beer and somebody super chatted me at JJ's urging. And I sang karaoke Stand Back by Vince McMahon. Wow. It was quite an experience. It's on the link on the replay on demand over at jeffmeachamnetwork.com. So check it out if you dare. Psycho says, instead of the XFL, WWE created the XHL. Do you think they would have been more successful had they focused on hockey? No. And I say that as a hockey fan, yes, but looking back to 2001, Gretzky had just retired not too long before. Hockey was not near as popular as it became when Gretzky left Edmonton and came to Los Angeles back in 1988. And it's just one of those hockey, even now with all the coverage on ESPN and Hulu and everything they've got for the NHL and all across the world, hockey's never going to be the sport in this country, right? Baseball or football. That's going to be the sport in this in the sports in this country. It's going to be baseball or football, because baseball was our national pastime. It still technically is, but everybody loves football, it seems. People get so invested in that 16, 17, 18 weeks, so much so the XFL is coming back for another 10 weeks after the Super Bowl. So it's you're getting football for half the year, which we have never successfully done. Hopefully Dwayne and his team can make a true go of it and make the XFL last more than a 10-game season. For the football fans, I know, and it gives Mikey content for half a year, which is always good for Mikey. So, or Snapboy, excuse me. So hopefully the XFL works, but if it doesn't, I'm not going to be upset. But as far as going with the XHL instead, I don't think it would have been near as successful, mainly because couple things. Hockey is definitely a much more, you have to have multiple skill sets to play the game of hockey. This is not a knock on football players or fans, but football is very blunt. If you're most of the positions, you either tackle or you block, you either run or you catch and run, you either throw or you hand off. It's really comes down to that. And yes, they're great athletes, the best athletes in the world, some of those guys, and they get paid well for it. But I don't think that, I think football is more of a visceral fandom, as far as people get into it because it's just a very basic primal type sport, if that makes any sense. Where hockey is not that. And it's Canadian, so I find that ironic to say, but it's truth. I think that hockey appeals to a small niche of fans, whereas football appeals to the American masses, right? And don't forget Ray Finkel, the kicker for Miami. Laces out, folks. If you know, you know. If you don't, do your research. So, hey, I always love hearing from Son. I'm glad he's here. Thank you, sir. Do you think Bianca Belair has the potential to be that no-nonsense, trash-talking, bragging, mess with her, she'll beat him down type of babyface of the women's division? I think they're trying to do that with her now. The problem is people aren't buying it because they want so bad to still cheer for Becky, still, hate on Charlotte, still want their Alexa. They want to, sneer at Carmella and Corey's thing. They want so much of what they want, they can't decide what they want, right? Bianca is an amazing athlete. She's got charisma for effing days. She's just one of the best, EST, in the company right now, and she doesn't get near the respect she deserves for being that person. So it's just, and again, her, and again, City by the Bay, Sasha Banks is one of the best female wrestlers. Yeah, again, both of those ladies, Bianca and Sasha, there's a reason they were in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 last year, because they earned it, because they're damn good at it. And I think that anybody that sleeps on either one of those two, even now, if you're still sleeping on Sasha at this point, you are not paying the hell attention. You're just not. And Bianca's feud with Sonya is going to be interesting. I know it's going to be a quick little run here prior to going into May 8th and Backlash, but I'm curious to see how Bianca handles it, not being in the main event spot feud. So we'll see. Again, guys, you got about 15 minutes. And if you super chat, we'll go overtime also. No DQ in the dark, no DQ dark type stuff. Like Aaron always says, right? Super chats at the end, we're doing plugs. Always seem to distract me anyways. So there you go. Psycho says, in what order would I visit these countries to check out their version of wrestling live? United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico, Japan. Okay, I'd go Japan first, easily. Probably if I'm going just for wrestling, be clear there. Japan, Mexico, United Kingdom, and Canada. Canada, somebody got a book. Oh, one of the ESPN female analyst lady caught a book. Go for her. Anyway, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. But I just don't know if there's currently a particular style in Canada compared to the other three countries. So I wouldn't be as enthralled by, I'm going to Canada for this. I'll go to Canada to visit my buddies. And if there's a WWE or an independent card out there, hey, I'll go. Why not? I would go to Japan to watch Japan Pro Wrestling, to watch the women's federations, to watch the craziness of DDT, stuff like that. UK, I'll go watch Progress. I'll go watch all these amazing British strong style guys. Mexico, take your freaking pick of the talent down there. So yeah, that would be the order. Japan, Mexico, United Kingdom, and Canada. I will say, I like that they're keeping Becky off TV right now. She needs to take a break because she has constantly walked out on Raw with the belt for the past 3 years, that it'll be odd without it. Yeah, and they made it part of the story that every day she was active, that she was champion for 3 years. So it's a new dynamic for her now. So we'll see how it is how they do when she plays out. And Bianca and Alexa were definitely the best female performers through the pandemic era, Jay. No doubt about it. CJ says, what is the thing in wrestling I hate the most? The six-sided ring is yours. I hated the six-sided ring because I had to set it up. And it was a bitch. For an independent show I worked. The six-sided ring is the devil as far as the sheer weight of the assembly. God. And again, before I get to my other answer, JJ disagrees. Josh disagrees with you. He says Bailey and Sasha were great as well. They were great on the mics. But as far as what I hated the most or currently hate the most, this is going to sound really jaded and really controversial. Twitter, social media. I hate it. And that's so dumb. I'm on social media doing this right now. But the slant toward the negativity just irritates the shit out of me. And it always will. There you go. Better theme song, Billy Gunn or X Factor? Billy Gunn with the Outlaws. If you're talking about Ass Man or Rockabilly or whatever, burn both albums. But Smoking Guns was fun for what it was, but the solo Billy Gunn act and Billy and Chuck, no, negative. But I never liked that. Again, with all respect to Sean and to Justin Credible and to Matt Bloom, no, X Factor's song was bad, just awful. How would I book a world title run for Liv or Cody? My choice. I'll do both. Liv has a chance now. She needs to win this feud with Rhea. She needs to win the briefcase and cash it in. Cody, I'm still playing patience with Cody. He just came back. He's in a great little program right now. Like I'm involved in business. He's in a good feud with Seth Rollins right now. I'm holding back and being patient when it comes to Cody Rhodes. But Liv, win this feud with Rhea, win the briefcase, cash in, and win the championship. Bing, bang, boom. 3 steps. 3 steps, baby. There it is. All right. It's getting toward the bottom of the hours, or top of the hour, I should say. So I will go ahead and start the plugs as I do toward the end of every stream. So first of all, I will say thank you to everybody at Pro Wrestling Tees for allowing me to hop on the bandwagon, if you will. You can check out that shirt for now over at Pro Wrestling Tees, and then you can get the rest of our lineup, which is 99.999% designed by our buddy Greg Cherry, and we love him for that. You can find all that over at merch.jeffmeachamnetwork.com, and that's our Teespring store, so you can check that out. Coming up on, let's see what we got here. Of course, since you're watching ODQ with us, say yes to NoDQ.com. Each and every night, there's a TV recap, a pay-per-view recap, a No DQ review. We have our Hall of Fame. We have the awards each and every year, and you can find NoDQ.com on the main website as well as across social media. You're watching on YouTube, obviously, but on Facebook, on Instagram, and on the Twitter, as JJ would say. And speaking of JJ, you can catch dads. You can catch the dads twice a week starting in May, but for right now, it's Ask the Dads coming up every Monday on the Jeff Meacham Network and the Constantine Studios. You can also catch the dads on the 29th of this month, 1 week from Friday, as we present our top 10 Backlash match favorites. That's coming up a week from Friday, April 29th. Again, you can catch me every Tuesday night that Aaron allows me, at least on No DQ, and then the other 3 platforms without hesitation or stoppage as after NXT every Tuesday night at 10:05 Eastern. Normally Greg Cherry shows on Wednesdays, but this week it's going to be on Thursday, coming up April 21st at the usual 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific time slot because of the fact that Greg is going to be at Dynamite tomorrow night, live in the Berg, baby. And you know Britt Baker's going to love that because the title towels will be out. In the spot of Greg Cherry's usual time slot, although we're not going to start at 7, we'll be starting at 6:30 per request of one of our panelists. We'll be previewing Impact's Rebellion pay-per-view tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern, and the pay-per-view itself, watch along, again, I'm still trying to coordinate this, keep that in mind, is coming up this Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Again, that's you can watch that show on Fight TV. You can definitely check it out on Impact Plus, I believe, but get out there and look. Speaking of Thursday, prior to the Greg Cherry show, again, that's coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern, on the Greg Cherry brand itself at 5 o'clock Eastern is the latest episode of WTC's Jack of All Trades. No, I'm no longer the champion, but I will definitely be in the chat room supporting and following along because it's going to be a fun outing for all. And then Friday night, we welcome back James Hebert, Noah Foster, the Renegade JJ Williams, myself, whoever else wants to pop in for open mic night. And in the bottom right there, the lower right there, that will be our viewer discussion, which is wrestling's greatest all-time faction. There will be a poll posted on social media tonight following Talk Wrestling across my channel, my social media, I should say, over at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So be on the lookout for that. You can check out and place your thoughts in there. Next Thursday night, the 28th, will be the return of Statboy to our universe, our galaxy, if you will, as Statboy Rants returns. And then, as I said, Dad's on the 29th. And then 1 week into May, so Sunday, May 8th, will be our watch along of WrestleMania Backlash. That's all coming up exclusively on the Jeff Meacham Network and on some cases our affiliates. So thank you all very, very much for checking out Talk Wrestling tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Let me just get caught up on the comments here that I missed while I was doing the plugs. I definitely want to address everybody before I go. So Will said, Jeff, I shouldn't think Bianca and Sasha have huge potential to attract audiences beyond the rest of the people. Yes, definitely. I have to agree with that. We have to get the audiences in there. I know it's a long time, but I think Cody will win the Rumble, then win Championship at Mania. Again, that's good long-term backup in case The Rock's not available. I toast that one. And yes, say yes to NoDQ.com. He did what I asked. He said yes. Very good. So I guess I would have Kevin Owens win Money in the Bank and cash in during Cody versus Roman, where he wins the championship by pinning Cody, which protects Roman, setting up a long feud all the way to Mania. I like that, Psycho. Nicely done. Again, 7 minutes now, JJ. So there you go. You only got 7 minutes, and I'm done, folks. David says, I understand Roman having leukemia as WWE limiting Roman his in-ring matches to house shows and pay-per-views, but do you think in doing so has made his title reign worse than the Reign of Terror? Absolutely not. At least Triple H competed weekly and gave fans hope that someone could dethrone him from taking the title or taking the loss. No. So, again, you have to remember something, David. The Reign of Terror was really what fueled No DQ's media shows, our podcast, to become a thing, because we were just so sick and damn tired of Triple H as the World Heavyweight Champion. I am not sick of Roman as champion yet. You also have to keep in mind, he's evidently injured, because if you notice, all of the major main event focus since WrestleMania on SmackDown has been on the Usos and their feud with RK Bro in the lead up to unifying the tag team championships together. So I think there's more to Roman not wrestling on TV than we're acknowledging or being allowed to acknowledge out loud. So, but as far as being worse than Reign of Terror, not even a glimmer of that thought on my brain. No way. It is the freaking Reign of Terror. And again, I have the benefit of hindsight now, 20 years later, right? The Reign of Terror was what it was to us fans in the moment. But when you look back, who was going to carry Raw long term? Goldberg, as much as people were into the whole Goldberg thing, he is a loose cannon as far as in the ring. He's an unsafe worker, especially back then. He's better now, I suppose. Randy, was an untested babyface. They turned him babyface, which was a stupid idea. If they kept him heel, probably would have been a lot better off. But again, the burden and the benefit of hindsight, right? I don't mind Triple H's championship reign between 2000 and 2005, looking back on them now from a different perspective. So maybe that's just me. Again, a lot of the working theories say that Cody should win Money in the Bank, and I don't disagree with that necessarily. But again, I'm being very particular about what I predict or what I say about Cody's run at WWE because it just restarted. So, do I predict a Becky return after Sonya's title match next Monday? I thought Sonya was wrestling Bianca at WrestleMania Backlash. Did I get that information wrong? Anybody in the chat room? Let me know. I could have sworn it was going to be a Backlash. If the title match is next week, then yeah, definitely. Booker should have dethroned Triple H at WrestleMania 19. There's been nobody yet that should have dethroned Roman. Boom. There you go. Great take. Okay, if Bianca versus Sonya is next week, then we definitely need to see Becky Lynch. I agree. We need to have her back, and I'm not saying have her begin another reign because I think that definitely needs to be not a thing for a while. But that's right, because they're Bianca's hometown. I forgot they're going to have Bianca defend the championship in Knoxville. Mikey, you going? Is this our stat boy and Dory going? Is the question of the day. I wouldn't say Sonya should be the feud to carry through Backlash. Then she's getting her match on Monday. Then if it's not Becky, it needs to be somebody big like Alexa coming back, or another unification scenario. Lots of choices. You figure Ronda's still in the mix, you got to believe. So we shall see, my friends. Does John Cena break 16? If so, when? Nope. They're gonna leave that there, and I think a lot of that is John's choice more than anything else. If you read the post by Kevin Owens when he became a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, he wanted to keep it at 2 because it's the same number of reigns as Owen Hart had. It's the same amount of cumulative days that Owen Hart had, and there's a lot of tie-ins that and Owen Hart was Kevin Owens' favorite, and his son was named after Owen, basically. So I think John will say 16 for that reason, along with nothing else. Is this the beginning of the end for Sony as an authority figure? Internal investigation. Yep, I think we're gonna get her back in the ring. I really do. Hey, Nashville beat Calgary. Go Nashville. Right on. If anybody breaks 16, it should be Orton, the Future of Evolution. I don't disagree with that. If anybody's going to break the 16, it needs to be somebody that was in line for that. And that would be Orton, Batista, or Hunter. Hunter has to retire. Orton's the guy. I agree with it. So I'm looking at the playoff picture here. So pardon me for a second. All right. So the Kings win there at 92. So okay. That's cool. Keeps them above where they need to go. Very good. All right, guys. I guess that's it. No karaoke from the Meach tonight. Bummer. But I do appreciate the super chats from everybody. If you super chatted on the no DQ side of things or the Greg Cherry side of things, I will let those folks know. We'll get that super chat into the kitty here before the end of the month. Anything helps. Tell you what, anything helps. Improve the presentation. You see the green screen is on tonight. I had major tech issue with the green screen, so I'm just like, you know what, tonight, F it, done. And Orton also never had long-term injuries like Cena. No, he's had long-term suspensions. It's not injuries, Jay. All right, one last question, David. Do you see now through Mania next year being similar to the first brand split, having the Undisputed World tag women's and women's tag do double duty, leaving the USIC as a sole. That's what they should do. Will they do? Probably not. But that's what they should do, David. I co-sign on this, as JJ and I will gladly rip off of Conrad and Jeff Jarrett, 100%, without question. And since you didn't do this $25 super chats, please go on the shirts. Go on our merchandise sites. Thank you, Jay. We'll go ahead and JJ's just feeding me the plugs, and I appreciate it. If you don't want to spend on super chats, we understand that, of course. We do. Go to merch.jeffmeachamnetwork.com and buy all the shirts, including the one I'm wearing right now. You can get it in tank top form or in t-shirt form. The tank top also comes in black and red. So there you go. Black with red text. So there you go. And, of course, you can go to ProWrestlingTees.com if you are into that Chicago branding and buy the Jeff Meacham Network official logo t-shirt over at Pro Wrestling Tees. That's it for me, kids. Have a wonderful night. We will see you tomorrow again. If you're watching on the Castasian Studio side of things on the Jeff Meacham Network, you can catch us for our Rebellion predictions. If you're watching No DQ, you can catch Aaron's recap of Dynamite tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. Other than that, we'll see you guys the rest of the week and the rest of the month right here on the Jeff Meacham Network and our affiliates. Have a great night.